Salem, Massachusetts, is known as the most haunted place in America because of the tragic witch trials of 1692. Innocent people were accused, imprisoned, and executed, leaving deep emotional scars on the town. Many believe the restless spirits of the victims still remain. Visitors report ghost sightings, strange sounds, cold spots, and unexplained feelings of fear. Salem's old houses, cemeteries, and streets carry a dark, unforgettable past. Now we will visit the most haunted places in Salem. Number 1. The Witch House. The Witch House, also known as the Jonathan Corwin House, is one of the most feared and haunted places in Salem, Massachusetts. Built in the 1600s, it was once the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin, one of the powerful judges during the Salem Witch Trials of 1692. Many innocent people were questioned and sent to prison after trials connected to this house, and some never returned alive. Visitors and staff have reported terrifying experiences inside the house. Doors open and close on their own, even when no one is nearby. Cold spots suddenly appear in warm rooms, making people feel dizzy or watched. Some visitors say they hear whispering voices, soft footsteps, or quiet crying, especially at night. One of the most frightening stories comes from guests who claim to see dark shadow figures moving through the hallways. Others have seen the ghost of a man standing silently near the staircase, believed to be Judge Corwin himself. People taking photos often find strange faces or mist-like shapes that were not visible before. Many visitors leave the witch house feeling uneasy, as if something followed them out. The heavy history of fear, injustice, and suffering still lingers, making the witch house one of Salem's most truly haunted locations. Number 2. Salem Witch Trials Memorial. The Salem Witch Trials Memorial in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the most haunting and emotional places in the city. The memorial honors the innocent people who were executed during the witch trials of 1692. Stone benches mark each victim's name, date of death, and the cruel way they were punished. Because so much suffering and fear is tied to this ground, many believe restless spirits still remain there. Visitors often report an uneasy feeling as soon as they enter the memorial, even during the daytime. At night, people claim the area feels heavy and silent, as if unseen eyes are watching. Some visitors have heard soft crying, whispers, or footsteps when no one else is around. Others say sudden cold air surrounds them near certain benches. There are reports of shadowy figures moving between the stones, especially late at night or early morning. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices and unexplained sounds during recordings. Some visitors say candles placed on the benches move or go out without wind. Many people leave the memorial feeling sad, shaken, and emotional. The pain, injustice, and fear suffered by innocent victims are believed to still echo through this quiet, powerful place. Number 3. Old Burying Point Cemetery. Old Burying Point Cemetery, also known as Charter Street Cemetery, is one of the oldest and most haunted places in Salem, Massachusetts. Founded in 1637, it is the final resting place of many people connected to the Salem Witch Trials, including judges and victims. Because of centuries of death, sorrow, and fear, many believe the spirits of the dead still walk among the graves. Visitors often report feeling sudden cold spots, even on warm days. Some say they feel a heavy pressure on their chest, as if someone unseen is standing close. At night, shadowy figures are sometimes seen moving between the gravestones or standing silently near old tombs. Many people claim to hear strange sounds such as whispering footsteps or quiet chanting when the cemetery is empty. Some visitors have seen ghostly mist rising from the ground, especially near older graves. Paranormal investigators have reported unexplained voices and strange energy readings during investigations. One of the most disturbing stories involves people feeling touched or lightly pushed when no one is nearby. Photos taken in the cemetery often show glowing orbs or dark shapes that were not visible at the time. Because of its dark history and constant reports of paranormal activity, Old Burying Point Cemetery remains one of Salem's most terrifying haunted locations. Number 4. Joshua Ward House. The Joshua Ward House, now known as the Merchant Hotel, is one of the most haunted buildings in Salem, Massachusetts. Built in 1784, the house stands on land where the old Salem Jail once existed. During the Salem Witch Trials of 1692, many accused people were held in this jail, suffering fear, pain, and hunger before facing execution. Many believe their spirits never left the ground. Guests and hotel staff have reported terrifying paranormal activity inside the building. People often hear footsteps in empty hallways and doors opening and closing on their own. Some guests say they wake up at night feeling someone sitting on their bed or standing near them. Sudden cold spots are common, even when the rooms are warm. One of the most chilling stories involves the sound of chains dragging across the floor, believed to be from imprisoned victims of the witch trials. Others report hearing whispered voices or crying coming from empty rooms. Objects sometimes move or fall without explanation. Some guests have seen shadow figures or felt intense fear for no clear reason. Many leave the hotel shaken, believing they were not alone. Because of its dark past and constant ghost reports, the Joshua Ward House remains one of Salem's most frightening haunted locations. Number 5. Hawthorne Hotel. The Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most famous and haunted landmarks. Built in 1925, the hotel is named after writer Nathaniel Hawthorne, whose family was connected to the Salem Witch Trials. Over the years, many guests and staff have reported strange and frightening experiences inside the hotel. One of the most haunted areas is room 325. Guests staying there have reported lights turning on and off by themselves, televisions changing channels, and doors opening without anyone touching them. Some guests say they wake up in the middle of the night feeling watched or suddenly filled with fear. Staff members have also shared chilling stories. They report hearing footsteps and voices in empty hallways, especially late at night. Items sometimes move or disappear and later reappear in strange places. Cold spots are common, even during warm seasons. Some visitors claim to see shadowy figures or ghostly shapes near the staircases and upper floors. Others have felt invisible hands touch their arms or shoulders. Many people leave the hotel feeling uneasy, as if something followed them. Because of these repeated reports and its dark historical connection, the Hawthorne Hotel is considered one of Salem's most truly haunted places. Number 6. House of the Seven Gables. The House of the Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's oldest and most mysterious homes. Built in 1668, the house inspired Nathaniel Hawthorne's famous novel, but many believe its real history is far more frightening. Centuries of families lived, suffered, and died inside its dark rooms, leaving behind restless spirits. Visitors and staff often report strange activity throughout the house. Footsteps are heard on the upper floors when no one is there. Doors open and close by themselves, and cold spots suddenly appear in certain rooms. Many people feel watched while standing in the narrow hallways or secret staircases. One of the most common stories involves a woman in old-fashioned clothing seen near the windows or walking silently through the rooms. Others have reported seeing shadow figures moving quickly and disappearing into walls. Some visitors claim to hear whispering voices, soft crying, or distant knocking sounds. Paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained voices and strange energy readings inside the house. People taking photos often find misty shapes or strange shadows that were not visible at the time. Because of its age, tragic history, and constant ghost sightings, the House of the Seven Gables remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations. Number 7. Salem Jail. The former Salem Jail in Salem, Massachusetts, is considered one of the most terrifying haunted locations in the city. Built in 1813, the jail held criminals, debtors, and accused witches, including people connected to the Salem Witch Trials. Many prisoners suffered hunger, cold, illness, and death within its stone walls, and their pain is believed to have left dark energy behind. Visitors and workers have reported frightening paranormal activity inside the old jail. Loud footsteps are often heard echoing through empty cell blocks. Cell doors have been known to slam shut on their own, even when no one is nearby. Sudden cold spots appear, making people feel weak or uneasy. One chilling story involves the sound of chains dragging across the floor late at night. Others have heard screaming, whispering, or desperate cries coming from sealed cells. Shadow figures are sometimes seen standing behind bars or watching from dark corners. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and strange noise during recordings. Some people report feeling touched, grabbed, or pushed while walking through the building. Many leave the jail feeling frightened and emotionally drained. Because of its cruel history and constant reports of paranormal activity, The former Salem Jail remains one of the most haunted and disturbing places in Salem. Number 8. Old Town Hall. Old Town Hall in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted and historically dark buildings. Built in 1816, it once served as a meeting place, theater, and public hall. Over the years, it hosted many emotional events, including heated gatherings connected to Salem's troubled past. Many believe the strong emotions left behind restless spirits. Visitors and staff often report strange and frightening activity inside the building. Footsteps are heard walking across the upper floors when no one is present. Doors open and close by themselves and lights flicker without explanation. Sudden cold spots appear, making people feel uneasy or watched. One of the most common ghost stories involves shadowy figures seen moving near the stage and balcony. Some witnesses claim to see a man dressed in old-fashioned clothing standing silently before vanishing into thin air. Others have heard whispering voices, distant laughter, or soft crying late at night. Paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained sounds and voices during investigations. People taking photographs sometimes capture strange shadows or mist-like shapes that were not visible at the time. Many visitors leave Old Town Hall feeling nervous and shaken. Because of its long history and repeated paranormal reports, Old Town Hall remains one of Salem's truly haunted places. Number 9. Howard Street Cemetery. Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts is one of the city's most forgotten yet deeply haunted burial grounds. Established in the early 1800s, it became the final resting place for many poor, unidentified, and unclaimed bodies. Because of this tragic history, many believe the spirits buried there never found peace. Visitors often report an immediate feeling of sadness and fear when entering the cemetery. Sudden cold spots appear even on warm days, and the air feels heavy and uncomfortable. Some people claim they hear faint whispers, moaning, or crying sounds coming from between the graves. One of the most disturbing stories involves shadow figures seen moving among the tombstones, especially at dusk or during foggy nights. Others have reported seeing ghostly shapes standing near open spaces where graves are believed to be unmarked. Some visitors feel sudden dizziness or nausea, as if something is draining their energy. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices and unexplained sounds during nighttime investigations. Photographs taken in the cemetery sometimes show glowing orbs or dark mist hovering above the ground. Many visitors leave Howard Street Cemetery feeling shaken and watched. Due to its sorrowful past and constant reports of paranormal activity, it is considered one of Salem's most truly haunted and terrifying cemeteries. Number 10. Peabody, Essex Museum. The Peabody, Essex Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted and mysterious places. Founded in 1799, the museum holds countless artifacts, including objects from Salem's dark witch trial history and maritime past. Many believe that the energy of the past lingers in the museum's halls, causing paranormal activity. Visitors and staff have reported strange and frightening experiences inside the museum. Footsteps echo through empty galleries, and doors sometimes open or close on their own. Lights flicker, and sudden cold spots appear in specific rooms, making people feel uneasy. Some visitors claim to hear whispering voices or soft cries when no one else is around. One of the most chilling stories involves shadowy figures seen moving near certain displays, especially those related to Salem's witch history. Some guests have felt invisible touches on their shoulders or arms while walking through quiet hallways. Paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained voices, strange energy readings, and flickering shadows during night investigations. Several staff members have reported feeling watched or followed while alone, and some claim that objects occasionally move or shift without explanation. Visitors often leave the museum feeling nervous or shaken. Because of its rich history and constant reports of strange events, the Peabody Essex Museum remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations. Number 11. Daniel's House. The Daniel's House, also called the Daniel's House Inn or Stephen Daniel's House, is one of Salem, Massachusetts' most haunted locations. Built in the early 1700s, it has a long history of family life, tragedy, and mysterious events. Over the years, many people have reported strange experiences, making it a chilling destination for ghost hunters and curious visitors. Guests staying at the inn often report sudden cold spots, even in warm rooms, and the feeling of being watched. Footsteps echo through empty hallways, and doors sometimes open or close by themselves. Some visitors say they hear soft whispers, quiet crying, or the sound of someone moving upstairs when no one is there. One of the most terrifying stories involves shadow figures seen walking through the house at night. Some guests have felt invisible hands brush their arms or shoulders. Others report seeing ghostly shapes near the old fireplaces or windows, especially on foggy evenings. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices, unexplained noises, and mysterious energy readings inside the house. Many who visit or stay at the Daniels house leave feeling uneasy and shaken. The combination of tragic history, dark energy, and frequent ghost sightings makes the Daniels house one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying places. Number 12. Phillips House. The Phillips House in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted historic homes. Built in the 1600s, it has been home to generations of the Phillips family. Over the centuries, the house has seen tragedy, illness, and death, leaving behind restless spirits that many believe still wander its halls. Visitors and staff often report strange experiences inside the Phillips house. Doors open and close by themselves, lights flicker without explanation, and cold spots appear suddenly, even in warm rooms. Many people feel an uneasy presence, as if someone is silently watching them. Footsteps are frequently heard on the upper floors when no one is there. One of the most famous stories involves a shadowy figure seen moving through the main hall or standing near the old fireplaces. Guests have reported soft whispers, faint crying, and even objects moving on their own. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and strange energy readings throughout the home. Some visitors feel sudden touches on their arms or shoulders when no one is nearby. Others claim to see ghostly shapes in mirrors or at windows. Many people leave the Phillips house feeling nervous, shaken, and certain they were not alone. Because of its long, dark history and ongoing hauntings, the Phillips house remains one of Salem's most terrifying and haunted locations. Number 13. Pickering House. The Pickering House in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's oldest and most haunted homes. Built in 1651, it has been lived in by the Pickering family for generations. Over time, the house became known for strange and unsettling occurrences, making it a truly eerie place. One story tells of a small rocking chair in the upstairs parlor that moves on its own. Visitors have seen it slowly rocking back and forth, even when the room is empty. Some believe it is the spirit of a child who once lived in the house. Another strange event involves the sound of footsteps in the basement. People walking through the house at night have reported hearing heavy, deliberate steps that stop when they look, as if someone is hiding or observing. Guests also report seeing ghostly figures in old family portraits. Some have said the eyes in the paintings seem to follow them, and once at night, a shadowy figure was seen near the staircase, disappearing into the wall. In the library, visitors have felt sudden cold drafts and whispers calling their names. Many claim they hear furniture moving lightly, as if someone invisible is rearranging it. Because of these unique hauntings, the Pickering House is considered one of Salem's most terrifying and haunted locations, unlike any other. Number 14. Ropes Mansion. The Ropes Mansion in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted historic homes. Built in 1727, it has a long history of family life, tragedy, and mysterious events, making it a place full of ghostly tales. One story involves a ghostly woman in a long dress seen walking the halls at night. Visitors say she appears near the windows and slowly vanishes when approached, as if she is searching for someone or something lost long ago. Another haunting occurs in the dining room. Guests have reported hearing the sound of silverware clinking and chairs scraping, even when no one is dining. Some believe it is the spirits of past family members replaying old dinners. A third story is about the attic. People exploring the upper rooms have felt sudden chills and seen objects, like old trunks or boxes, move slightly on their own. Many describe a feeling of being watched while in the attic. Visitors also report hearing faint whispers in the hallways and the creaking of floorboards above them, even when the rooms are empty. Some claim to see shadowy figures near the staircase. Because of its unique history and repeated paranormal activity, the Ropes Mansion remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations, unlike any other house in the city. Number 15. Salem Athenaeum. The Salem Athenaeum in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's oldest libraries and is often called one of the most haunted places in Salem. Founded in 1810, it has a long history of books, scholars, and quiet study, but its peaceful atmosphere hides strange and chilling occurrences. One story involves the library's upper reading room. Visitors have reported hearing soft footsteps on the wooden floors when no one else is present. Some say it sounds like someone pacing while reading, then suddenly stopping when they look around. Another tale is about books falling off shelves on their own. Guests and staff have found books scattered on the floor, often open to pages about Salem's dark history or witch trials. Many believe restless spirits are trying to communicate or remind people of the past. A third haunting occurs in the main hall. People have reported hearing whispers in empty rooms, often calling their names or discussing things that no one else can hear. Some visitors claim to feel cold drafts brush past them unexpectedly, even on warm days. Shadowy figures have also been seen moving between the aisles, disappearing when approached. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and strange energy readings. Because of its unusual activity and long history, the Salem Athenaeum remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations, unlike any other building in the city. Number 16. St. Peter's Episcopal Church. St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted religious sites. Built in the early 1800s, it has long been a place of worship, but its history also includes mysterious and chilling occurrences that have terrified visitors and parishioners. One story involves the church's main sanctuary. People have reported hearing organ music playing on its own when no one is present. Sometimes the notes sound slow and haunting, filling the empty church with an eerie presence. Another tale focuses on the bell tower. Visitors have said they hear the heavy bell swinging or ringing in the middle of the night, even though it is locked and inactive. Some claim the sound is a warning or a signal from a restless spirit. A third story involves shadowy figures seen kneeling in the pews. Guests have reported seeing silhouettes of people praying silently, only to vanish when approached. Many feel an unseen presence watching them during these experiences. Other strange events include sudden cold spots, doors opening and closing by themselves, and faint whispers that seem to come from the walls. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained sounds and energy spikes in the building. Because of its combination of sacred history and repeated ghostly activity, St. Peter's Episcopal Church remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations, with experiences unique from other haunted sites. Number 17. Pioneer Village. Pioneer Village in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's oldest historic sites, and is considered one of the most haunted places in Salem. Built in 1630 to preserve early colonial life, the village recreates the homes, shops, and streets of the first settlers. Its long history and connections to early hardships have left restless spirits behind. One haunting involves the blacksmith shop. Visitors have reported hearing the sound of hammering on metal, even though no one is working. Some believe it is the ghost of a long-dead blacksmith continuing his work. Another story focuses on the colonial houses. Guests have seen shadowy figures peering through the windows or moving quickly along the old streets. People often feel sudden chills while walking between the buildings, as if someone unseen is following them. A third haunting occurs near the village well. Visitors have said they hear faint cries for help or whispers calling their names. Some have felt invisible hands brush against them while standing near the well. Other experiences include doors slamming shut by themselves, strange footsteps on empty wooden floors, and sudden cold drafts in rooms with no ventilation. Paranormal investigators have recorded unusual sounds and mysterious energy spikes. Because of its historic significance and repeated paranormal activity, Pioneer Village remains one of Salem's most terrifying and uniquely haunted locations, unlike any other site in the city. Number 18. Salem Maritime National Historic Site. The Salem Maritime National Historic Site in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted locations. This site preserves old wharves, warehouses, and ships from Salem's busy 18th and 19th century maritime history. Over centuries, sailors, traders, and workers suffered accidents, drownings, and tragic deaths here, leaving restless spirits behind. One haunting involves the Derby Wharf. Visitors have reported hearing the sound of footsteps on the wooden planks when no one else is present. Some say they feel cold gusts of wind brushing past them, even on still days, as if spirits of sailors are walking the pier. Another story occurs inside the warehouses. People have reported hearing the creaking of old crates and chains rattling, though the buildings are empty. Some believe it is the ghosts of workers continuing their tasks long after death. A third haunting involves the historic ships, especially the Friendship of Salem. Guests have seen shadowy figures moving along the decks or standing silently by the ropes. At night, some have heard whispers or distant voices calling out from the water. Other strange occurrences include doors opening on their own, sudden chills, and unexplained noises of bells or hammers. Paranormal investigators have recorded unusual sounds and energy spikes near the docks. Because of its dark maritime history and constant ghost reports, the Salem Maritime National Historic Site remains one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations. Number 19. Forest River Park. Forest River Park in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's eeriest outdoor locations and is often called one of its most haunted places. This small, quiet park has a long history, and locals say it sits on land where tragedies and mysterious deaths occurred over the centuries. One haunting involves the walking trails. Visitors have reported sudden cold spots and feelings of being watched while walking alone. Some say they hear footsteps behind them, but when they turn, no one is there. Another story focuses on the old benches in picnic areas. People have reported seeing shadowy figures sitting quietly, sometimes vanishing when approached. Some witnesses say these figures appear to be dressed in old-fashioned clothing from centuries ago. A third haunting happens near the small river that runs through the park. Visitors often hear faint cries for help or whispers floating above the water, especially at dusk. Some say it sounds like someone calling their name from the shadows. Other strange events include unexplained rustling in the trees, flickering lights near the riverbank, and sudden chills that make people feel uneasy. Paranormal investigators have recorded mysterious sounds and energy spikes throughout the park. Because of its quiet, isolated setting and frequent paranormal activity, Forest River Park is considered one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying outdoor locations, with experiences different from other haunted sites in the city. Number 20. Witch Dungeon Museum. The Witch Dungeon Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, is one of the city's most haunted attractions. The museum recreates the Salem Witch Trials and even includes a replica of the old courtroom and dungeons where accused witches were imprisoned. Because of its dark history, many believe the museum is filled with restless spirits. One haunting involves the dungeon itself. Visitors often report feeling a sudden drop in temperature and hearing chains rattling, even though no one is inside. Some have said it feels like unseen hands are pushing or brushing against them while walking through the narrow passageways. Another story focuses on the courtroom exhibits. Guests have reported hearing whispers and murmurs as if judges and prisoners were still arguing. Some people feel cold drafts on their necks and shoulders while looking at the old wooden benches. A third haunting occurs near the museum's reenactment stage. Actors and visitors have claimed to see shadowy figures standing behind them or moving quickly along the walls, vanishing when noticed. Other strange experiences include doors slamming by themselves, objects tipping over, and faint cries echoing from empty rooms. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and strange energy readings inside the museum. Because of its authentic connection to the witch trials and constant ghostly reports, the Witch Dungeon Museum is considered one of Salem's most haunted and terrifying locations, offering a haunting experience unlike any other site in the city. Number 21. Salem State University. Salem State University in Salem, Massachusetts, is considered one of the city's most haunted locations. The campus is full of historic buildings, some dating back over a century, and many students and staff have reported strange and frightening experiences over the years. One haunting occurs in the oldest dormitories. Students have reported hearing footsteps pacing in empty hallways late at night. Doors sometimes open and close by themselves, and lights flicker without explanation. Some students feel cold drafts or a heavy presence in their rooms, even when windows are closed. Another story involves the main academic building. Professors and staff have reported hearing whispers in empty classrooms, often repeating the same phrases, though no one is there. Some students claim to see shadowy figures sitting in lecture halls or standing silently near doorways. A third haunting happens in the library. Visitors have reported books falling from shelves, even when no one is nearby, and ghostly shapes moving between the stacks. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange voices, cold spots, and unexplained energy spikes in the building. Other reports include sudden feelings of nausea, items moving on their own, and doors slamming without cause. Many students leave feeling nervous or watched because of its long history and repeated paranormal activity. The Salem State University buildings are considered some of Salem's most haunted and terrifying places, with experiences unlike any other location in the city.